Ooh, welcome everyone to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, we're being brought to you by BetMGM. Use that promo code JUICE where you can bet $100, win $200 if either team scores a touchdown in NFL or college. Unfortunately, not available in PA or New Jersey. All right, here we go. Recapping Monday Night Football. What a game. Really what a kind of ugly game. I would say very ugly game. Bunch of turnovers, some sloppy play. It was just great watching the crowd noise get to Russell Wilson, cause some false starts for the Broncos there. A lot of fun. Good game. And then really, man, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the coaching decisions at the end of the game. As a guy who's sitting on Seattle +7, it really didn't matter what they did at the end there. I guess I was worried if they got broke off a touchdown and then got the 2-point, would it be a push? Lot to happen there. But when it came down to essentially 4th and 5, you have plenty of timeouts. You have plenty of time. You don't take the ball out of Russell Wilson's hand on 4th and 5. That's insane. Well, why do you give him all this guaranteed money? I get it. Brandon McManus, does he have the leg? I guess he did. It wasn't that far off. I think since 2000, 64-yard field goals have been like 2 out of 100. Like the percentages of hitting a 64-yard field goal are extremely, extremely low. The percentage of Russell Wilson picking up a 4th and 5, I'd much rather like those chances than get into a decent field goal position. Like you can't settle there at 4th and 5. That to me was just crazy. All right, so coming off a 2-1 day, almost a full unit of profit, minus the juice there on it. So, all right, let's get into it. Rashad Penny, get the loser out of the way. Rashad Penny did not go over his rushing yards, unfortunately. He did break one that would have cashed the over, but holding call negated it. 12 carries. I thought he was going to get a little bit more. And then those Broncos, like super long drives at the end, really in the second half really took a ton of time off the game, and it kind of probably hurt us on the Rashad Penny, but then helped us with the Geno Smith passing yards. I mean, that thing looked like that was completely cooked. It ended up hitting. We had under 209.5 passing yards for Geno Smith. That one looked like it was done at halftime. He had 160 yards at halftime. I don't know if he caught the post game with Geno Smith, but he's like, they wrote me off. Problem is, I didn't write back. And I think the same applies, to this Geno Smith passing yards prop. I wrote it off at halftime. The problem is the prop bet never wrote me back. Ended up cashing. So thank you, Geno Smith. Appreciate that. You are a true dog. And I thought he played pretty well, pretty efficient. Certainly some mistakes, but, for a guy who just completely sucks, I was higher than most on him, and feeling decent about the being on. I'm like slightly higher on most than the Seahawks. I'm not super high on them, but I don't think they're a lot of people are giving them out like fewest wins in the NFL, and they're going to be a complete disaster. Pete Carroll gets these guys to play hard, and that defense showed some signs of life. Last but not least, Seattle +7. Never really in doubt. I mean, again, Denver really, they had plenty of opportunities. And then shout out to Richard Sherman with a sweet troll job of Russell Wilson when he tweeted out, hey, goal line situations are really tough. They had plenty of opportunities to get it done. Broncos just couldn't. But overall, you felt like the Seattle +7 was pretty good. Again, if you people, and I know some of the listeners are, feel free to hit me up if you're completely novice or just getting into it, bettingpros.com/chat. Happy to answer. I know some people are like, I'm scared to ask a dumb question. Feel free to DM me if you're paranoid about like asking a stupid question, or just, I would put this up there with like betting 10 commandments. Yeah, there was 90% of the money. 90% of the tickets on a road favorite, a non-conference road favorite going up against a home dog, Monday Night Football, opening night. It was to me, it was fairly easy to get on Seattle there, especially when you saw the bet split. So, again, feel free to hit me up, bettingpros.com/chat. There's always some fun discourse going on the Daily Juice thread. And again, if you disagree with my picks or you got other angles, I'm not, I'm not going to be like, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I'm always down to mix it up, and maybe you got some good angles. So feel free to mix it up in the chat. All right, DeAndre Swift. You want a signed DeAndre Swift jersey? All you got to do is go to youtube.com/bettingpros, subscribe to the channel, comment below on this video here, and you got a chance to win an autographed DeAndre Swift jersey. He actually looked pretty good, even though in a losing effort. Go Birds. But, yeah, DeAndre Swift, I thought, played pretty well. We'll see. That Detroit team still has a lot of work to be done. Mostly Jared Goff. All right, I got 3 picks, 2 baseball, 1 early NFL play. Let's start with a MLB player prop. And again, coming from the MLB cheat sheet over at bettingpros.com, they're not even like telling me to plug this. I just legitimately started using this thing, and it's been super helpful. All right, give me Seth Brown over a half total bases. You can get that -125 over on DraftKings. Betting Pros has the cover probability at 76%, so that seems like a great place to begin. Seth Brown has had 2 hits in his last 3 games, so the bat is hot for old Seth Brown. And he's going up against the Texas Rangers. Cole Reagan starting. He only has 21 innings pitched in his entire career. So I love I like going up against a pitcher that is that inexperienced. Ballpark Pal also has this +5 percentage towards extra base hits. So that in and of itself is a pretty solid angle as well. Next up, we got your Los Angeles Dodgers laying -1.5 on the run line, -107. Found that over at PointsBet. Also, shout out to PointsBet, who, these companies do these publicity stunts, but they are already paying out the Dallas Cowboys under win total bets because of how rough of a start it was for the Dallas Cowboys. All the injuries. I mean, thoughts and prayers for all the Cowboys fans out there. I still think this is the year for you guys. Come on. Don't give up hope. Just because everyone's injured and the team isn't that good, and you have Mike McCarthy, don't give up hope. All right, got sidetracked here. Dodgers, again, as we know, one of the best teams in the league on the run line. But Arizona is up there as well. However, I mean, these Dodgers, so hot. 5-1 last 6 straight up, but 5-1 on covering these spreads. They got Clayton Kershaw going, which, again, it's Clayton Kershaw, and he's been really good since he came back on the road. 2.44 ERA in 10 starts. Again, I have a feeling he's going to be out there dealing, and again, it's Dodgers on the run line. Mainly, most of this is based on fading Merrill Kelly of the Diamondbacks, who is good. His ERA win-loss overall is really pretty sharp, but for some reason, his win-loss is much better on the road than at home. He's 8-1 on the road, 4-4 at home. So give me the Dodgers on the run line there. Hey guys, have you tried Sleeper.com yet? Sleeper.com/dailyjuice. You probably already have a fantasy league in a Sleeper. Again, if you haven't already hopped in there, it's so fun to play the over/under on these player props. And again, you can combine 2x all the way up to 20x, depending how many players you want to put in. 100% deposit bonus as well, up to $100. Sleeper.com/dailyjuice. Get in there. You can just copy each other's picks. I know a lot of people like to share picks, plays. You can tag people. It's really pretty fun. And the coolest part, if you have a league on Sleeper, you can see like your fantasy matchups, and the over-under is integrated right there. So let's say you had Mahomes last week. I mean, you could have just made a killing. A, you probably destroyed your fantasy league, but then B, just also selecting some overs or just fading your the guy you're playing. I mean, I've been doing this, and I've just been trolling the guy, whoever we're going up against in my fantasy on Sleeper. I just also combine like 3x player props on their unders, just really destroying them juju-wise. But sleeper.com/dailyjuice. Get in there. Sign up if you haven't already. Use the promo code dailyjuice. All right, one early NFL play. I wanted to lock this in. I have a feeling this line could change. Patriots at the Steelers. Right now, the Steelers are getting 1 point, a home dog over in DraftKings at -110. I'm getting on this early because of the Mac Jones injury news. Now, Mac Jones says he says he's hoping to go, which is never something great you want to hear out of your quarterback. He's dealing with back spasms as well. He took a couple shots in that Dolphins game. We'll see if he goes. If he does go, I can't imagine he's 100%. And if he doesn't go, Pittsburgh's going to be a pretty big favorite because the Patriots just have no QB depth. And we saw how good this Pittsburgh defense was, right? I mean, even without TJ Watt, who's going to be out for maybe the season, maybe not, their defense is still really, really good. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick, you saw the way he just willed that blocked punt, all the turnovers they created. Now, normally I would be hesitant to take a team like the Steelers here in week 2 because they came off a big road win against a rival, but they're coming home, and Pittsburgh has a legit home field advantage. Najee Harris, who got banged up in that game, it looks like he's actually going to be good to go. They're not as skeptical. And as far as skeptical, the Matt Patricia play calling, I'm just still out on it. I got to see something from this Pats offense. Now, I know Miami is a tough place for anyone to go and play, but Pittsburgh isn't a lot easier, especially with that defense. So I'm going to snag this early line, maybe add a unit to it later on the week if it ends up being one of my NFL best bets. All right, so give me the Steelers +1 over on DraftKings, -110. Give me the Dodgers -1.5 on the run line, -107 over on PointsBets. And give me Seth Brown over a half total bases, -125 over on DraftKings. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. BetMGM, promo code JUICE. Bet $10, get $200 if either team scores a touchdown. That is college and pro. Restrictions apply. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Just hit Will Dissly first touchdown. And guys, hey, you know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.